Hey sis, welcome back to Black Girl SOS. It is your girl Snobby, and as always, I only bring you the best of the best. So today we are talking to my fellow podcaster. Sis, take it away.
Yo, what up? It's KMGZ on Twitter. My key line is I'm back, but actually this ain't my recording. I just fell into automatic. But anyway, thanks for asking podcast. Damn, you know what? I'm terrible at this marketing stuff because I don't even, thanks for asking Kellz Podcast. Some of you know it, some of you don't. I got a small following, but they loyal. But, you know, it's, that's it. Comedy.
It's available everywhere, and make sure you check it out.
Except for, what's the big one? Tidal. It's everywhere but Tidal, because you got to do a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I ain't on Tidal either. It's the formalities for me.
Right, it ain't that serious.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't got no for bookings in my bio yet. So
Right.
We can relax. All right, so I wanted to have you on, one, because you're a fellow smart person.
Oh, I try. Thanks.
And then two, because you're a podcaster also. So how'd you fall into podcasting, or was it that you fell?
It's a couple ways. So Reggie will say rest in peace. I was in LA. I was living in LA from, what was it? I went out there. I did my so in law school, college too, but in law school you could do like this thing called a visiting year, where you know. So my third year, because initially I wanted to go to law school in LA because I wanted to do entertainment law. But when I got into law school, I was still in Afghanistan. I got into Loyola Law, but the timing one where they wanted me to be in LA in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I just got back from Afghanistan. It wasn't gonna happen. So long story short, I was like, fuck it. I ended up going to Fordham, and I was like, I'll go out there for my third year visiting law. So that's what I did. So I was out in LA, and I like it LA, but I was missing, you know, you haven't been LA, you know how it is.
Yeah. My law school housemate was from the Bay. Yeah. It's a different energy on the left coast.
And I was missing that East Coast. You know, I was just missing the swag, how we talk. Out there, it's real corny. I mean, I like it, but it's real corny. So, and the crew, the people I was with was, you know, bless their hearts, was just corny. So I found the Combat Jack show on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how I found it. I just did. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm looking for. Just some New York niggas talking. So I followed him from like way back. And then we started following each other on Twitter. We found out, because he went to Cornell and I went to Cornell. And so we figured out we kind of knew some of the same people from that. And I'm listening to these other podcasts, you know, the ones everybody knows. And I like them. I listen to a lot of them. I like them. But as you know, I'm Gen X, right? I'm an old nigga, right? And a lot of this.
We here.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this millennial voice, no offense. Some of the shit y'all be saying just be crazy to me. I'm like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. We ain't grow up. I ain't how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know, everybody woke. Everybody, we all progressing. Everybody going to therapy, all that shit. But like Gladys told Patty the other night, ain't nothing wrong with what happened yesterday, right?
A fucking word.
Just because it's new, it don't mean it's better. And a lot of the shit y'all do, some of it, absolutely. The shit we was doing before was fucked up. Thank God we evolved. But some of this new shit, I just don't think it's better. I don't think it's great. Some of y'all be sounding crazy. We're going to get into some how y'all sound crazy in a little bit. And I just like, yo, this is great, but like, Gen X, we built this culture, right? And it's a whole bunch of us out of here, and I don't hear none of our voices. I don't hear none of us. I hear the young folks, and that's cool. And I was like, I know it's an audience out there. I know it's more me's out here who listening to stuff like, yeah, that's cool, but man, you sound a little crazy right there. Nah, ain't that some bullshit? Yeah, no. So I was like, I'm gonna make a podcast and have that voice, and that's what I did. I was like, yo, and the good thing about a podcast, you know, you can say what you want to say. Like, I can't stand, I listen to, even today, I listen to podcasts and be like, don't say that. We don't want to get canceled. Nigga, it's your podcast. They come for your voice. If they don't like what you're saying, they don't have to listen. Stop parsing your word. And I get it. Some people have sponsors and all that shit. Yeah. But even that, like, yo, as long as you're not on here like, I fuck babies or, you know, saying crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Say what the fuck you want to say. I hate that.
I got to co-sign that 1,000%. So a couple of my clients are podcasters, and they've got like these big ass endorsements. They're podcasts are released on,
Yeah.
paid media and shit.
Right.
And even then, when I sit down with them and I go through their contracts with them, I'm like, yo, you realize that you're going to sign some shit that's going to alter the authenticity of your podcast, because you're not going to be able to say a lot of the shit that you say right now. Like, the reason that the shit is going the way it's going is about to be altered. Like, be clear on that.
You about to be corporate and sounding like everybody else, which a lot of these podcasts are right now.
Correct. So I need to know how you ended up going Johnny Gill on the podcast game. When I started following you a couple of years ago, your podcast was a duo. And then I feel like I just blinked one day and it was just Kellz.
So this is a funny story, because when I did it, all the podcasts I listened to was 2 people. So I was like, you need 2 people. Like, I can't just be on. That's dumb. Who won't be just listening to me talking? And I was like, I need a partner. So honestly, I don't remember how I hit off. And she was like, well, I'll be your co-host. And I was like, all right, cool. We'll see how it goes. Like, my middle was always, we'll see how it goes. Like, it wasn't like, no, we're going to be partners for life. It's just, we'll see how it goes. And it just, people was hitting me here and there, email, giving me feedback. My cousin, my ex was like, every time I tell this story, I hate telling it, because she was like, yo, you should do it by yourself. And I was like, shut up. You don't know nobody who do a podcast by themselves. You know what you're talking about, whatever. And she was like, I'm telling you that whoever that host is, you should do it by yourself. Like, they don't add anything. And so people kept saying stuff like, my cousin said something, both my cousins said something, and just people was hitting me. So I was like trying to coach along, like, yo, you got to come prepared with things to say. You got to, even if I know everybody can't talk on the fly, make some shit up, but like, you got to be engaged more. And it just wasn't going on when people was like, yo, you really don't need it. So, and I didn't. I realized, like, you
didn't. I mean, no shade to sis, but
right. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it by myself. And I told you so. Every time I told you so. I told you ain't need nobody. I'll be like, man, I should never told you was right. I waited 2 years to tell her that shit too. I was like, listen. And now I never hit the end of it. So that's how. And, people seem to like it that way. It's a lot of work. And it's funny you mentioned the sponsors and stuff, because, number one, I don't have time to market to get to that point. But number two, I ain't really sure I want to do that, because you can tell when you listen to a podcast, you can tell the minute they get sponsors, because the whole tone change. I'm like, oh, now they doing that corny shit. Now they.
That's a large fact. It's a large reason why I didn't want to get into it. So people been trying to get me into podcasting for eons. For fucking eons. I'd be like, first of all, we are Twitter veterans, so Twitter used to be an unsafe space. Clapback game used to be real out of line. And I know my mouth. I know my mouth, and I'm very quick with it. So I just was like, nah, I don't wanna like give myself to the public in that way. Because if you say some off the cuff shit to me, I'm gonna track your IP address and fuck you up. Because I don't got no fucking Twitter fingers. I got black Air Force Ones, and I grew up in the Bronx in the fucking crack era. This shit'll escalate. So I was like, nah. I was like,
home invaders, air home invaders.
Exactly. I was like, nah, that ain't the environment for me. Like, I know how people be giving it up on social media. I don't want no parts of that. But everybody and their mom was like, nah, do it. And I used to do radio back in college. I love radio. But I don't like to hear myself. Like, I hate my voice.
It's the worst.
I'm like, if it's just me, then I gotta edit this bitch. I gotta keep listening to this motherfucking shit. And like you said, that's a lot of work. I felt the same way. Like, who the fuck want to hear me talk to myself for the longest? But when I first started it, like, the first 20 episodes is just me, and everybody was fucking with it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. But I was like, also, I know a lot of dope ass people that I want to have a conversation with. So it don't always gotta be just me. But also, I ain't gotta like really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still get to govern this shit. Like, this shit needs some governance. It's definitely some work. Like you was telling homegirl you used to host with. Like, you can't just show up unprepared. That's not how this shit works.
No, and you can't. And I'm gonna be honest. My process. I know a lot of people like have like script. Everyone like, you should give me a transcript. I'm like, I don't work. That's not what I do. I know what I want to say, and I outline it, and I have it scheduled. But when it come out my mouth, it's whatever came. It's just whatever came out. And I tell people like, you should write it down. I'll be like, I learned when I was in school a long time ago. Me writing down what I'm gonna say, like words is a waste of time because I could write it all down, and when I step to the mic or whatever, I'm still gonna say, I'm gonna riff it. Like, this is how I am. I'm gonna change it. So I say, all right, I want to hit this point, and that point, and then I leave all that space for improvising because I know that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So a lot of the formalities that other people do, I don't do that shit. People are like, you got a script? No, you better listen back to it.
Ain't no script over here. I do the same shit. Yeah. I decide what I'm talking about. If there's like some real pertinent shit I want to make sure I don't miss, just jot that shit down in a little outline. And other than that, I keep it pushing, especially when I'm interviewing people. I like organic conversation. I don't want to hear anybody giving me the fucking correct answer to the question. And also, I don't want conversation to be stifled. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's another thing. At least that's been my experience lately with some of the podcasts I've been venturing off into, of like people that I don't know. Like, I just started listening to, I won't name it because I didn't think it was great. And it's a bunch of Black women, so I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to drag this shit. But it's not a good show. It's not.
How many hosts is it? How many hosts is it?
It's one regular host, and it seems like she has like a rotation of people that kind of co-host with her. Yeah. But the show's not good. It's not good.
No, I listen to a lot that are not good, and I'll be like, I'm not no expert, but like I know what's hit my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I asked you how many hosts, because this one I mentioned it got 5 hosts. I'm like, that's too many.
It's too much. That's too many people.
Yeah, y'all all talking over each other. It's crazy.
Yeah, that shit is not about. So that being said, do you feel like the podcast market is kind of oversaturated at this point?
I feel it's been oversaturated, but and not just oversaturated, but like kind of getting boring. You know what I mean? Like and I hate to say that because I never hate on nobody's bag. Y'all getting paid, do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do think it's oversaturated because at the end, it's the people who getting like how many of so everybody listen to the read. I'm also go ahead and say them.
We all listen to the read.
But how many of those do we need? Like they do that, right? That's what they do. And it's like everything I listen to now is trying to beat them to the sentimentality, to the opinions, to the slang. And I'm like, how many of those do we need? And that's what I mean by it's getting boring. Like I'm gonna be real. I listen to a majority of Black gay shit because I feel like it's not enough for us out here. And I listen to a lot of this other stuff. The real popular ones I don't listen to because I feel like it's either gonna be a bunch of dudes talking about sports. It's going that they don't know shit about. It's gonna be, you know, just relationship shit. Like it's just a lot of silly shit. Like a lot of it just make me feel like in my high school. And I know entertainment is kind of at that level at some point. But like the whole point of a podcast is you ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you want a podcast sounding like it's the Breakfast Club or the radio, or you're just not getting deep into topics, or what you're saying is not, you don't sound intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My cousin say I call people dumb too much. I can't help it.
Yo, it's so funny because a quote of yours that I pulled is absolutely you calling somebody dumb.
Because listen, I'm not. I was in the mentally gifted program. I always tested high. Always in the top. So if you're not on that level, I'm just like kind of dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mean no harm, and you might not be actually dumb, but you know what I'm saying? It's level. And I just don't have the patience. Listen, I don't have the patience for it. When I was younger, you know, we was all in school. We was used to being at the top of the class.
Correct. Top. We are aligned. We have that in common. We have that in common.
We didn't have to deal with the low readers. You know what I'm saying? we was all in different classes. You know what I'm saying? We was in our class. The low readers was in the class down the hallway. Y'all might have played together at recess and after school, but in class. You ain't have to while them niggas is reading with their finger and
yo.
You know, all that shit, right? But when we all mingle together, you realize like, oh, this nigga's a low.
Yo, not for nothing, because I never thought about it that way, but yo, that's a good fucking point. Like these motherfuckers been on my nerves at work, and I high key was like, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. A lot of y'all fucking problem is y'all are worried about shit that's not relevant. Like this is work. Stick to the facts. The facts don't change. That's it. Y'all telling me how you feel. What like
feelings?
Yeah. And so what? You know, now that I'm thinking about what you just said, because I used to teach before I went to law school. Just no shade to people that learn at a slower pace, but they are coddled more. their feelings are tended to in school, and you know what I'm saying, as they progress through academics. Whereas if you were in the gifted class like we were, motherfucker, this work was coming fast and heavy, and we was getting that shit done and getting the fuck on with the day.
Right, and
that's how I operate. And they be like, oh, you're too direct. Nah, sis, I got work to do. I don't have all day with this shit.
Time. And like my thing, and I also was in the Marine Corps. And in the Marine Corps, you got to get that shit done. They don't give a fuck how somebody say it to you, whether you like what they say it to you or not. Get the fuck that, yo. And I understand, like, in time and place for everything, right?
Yeah.
And I can't stand people who you focusing on the wrong shit
all the time.
I probably could have said it to you better. You could probably. But you know what? That would have took 20 fucking minutes.
Correct.
And at the end of the 20 fucking minutes, you still have to do what the fuck I said. So just do what the fuck I said. I don't care about how you feel about how I asked you. Like, I'm not going to have this conversation. Like, damn. Like, yeah, I could have said it. I could have been like, hey, how all that bullshit y'all hate on your family? Hey, I don't give a fuck about your family. I need you to file this shit.
I don't. And that's what I told my manager. I said, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know none of y'all personally. I don't have a vested interest in you as a person. I don't care. The only thing we have in common is we are employed at the same place. We have a task we have to do together, and that is it.
And if you make friends, that's extra. Somebody said something to me though, and it didn't click. When they said it, I was like, that's right. They were like, the reason why Black people have such an issue, most of us in work, because white people make their friends at work.
Yeah.
We really don't.
We don't.
We don't. The only Black.
Yep.
We don't like none of y'all motherfuckers anyway.
At all. Don't trust you.
Right. Don't trust you. Came here to work. Y'all saying all kind of dumb shit that we just ignoring just so we could work. So we really not we don't make our friends here. Our friends are outside. Yep. So it's extra a pain in the ass when y'all do all that shit. Cause Karen, I don't give a fuck.
That's a fucking fact. I just, so last week, had this whole big fucking everybody wants to sit down and talk to me meeting, but I was like, this conversation is not going to go the way you think it's going to go, because I'm not going to change I said what I said. That shit is not going to get altered. I'm like, y'all spent 15 minutes with the fucking pleasantries. It's a 30-minute call. It's a 30-minute call.
Why do it take 10 minutes to hang up? We done, click. Like, we already been on this call too long. It take 5. Hey, how's everybody done hanging? And my kids and let me dog. I'll be like,
yo, oh, how's the weather in Florida? Same as it always is. Beautiful.
It's always sunny in Florida.
Always. It's the sunshine state. So we're on brand. Like, what the fuck are you
fucking? They be just chit-chatting. I mean, I know you got to do something for my, hey, how you doing? Good. Okay, you doing good? Boom. These motherfuckers be, oh, my daughter and my kid. People with kids, God bless y'all.
Yo, bless them, especially now, because the way them kids be taking over the fucking WebEx and the Zoom and the fucking ring calls, I'd be like, yo, I'm sorry. Who the fuck is running the screen in the back? Is it you or your daughter? There's a lot of shit going on.
Listen, God bless y'all in the house with y'all kids. I know it must be a mess, but I just want you to know I don't give a fuck about your kids or your stress. I empathize because I know that shit has got to be a pain. It looked like a pain, and I can imagine it's a pain. However, you're not finna talk me to death about your kids on. I ain't got none just because I don't want to go through what you're talking about right now. So,
I made a conscious decision for myself.
I made a conscious decision because I don't want to hear it.
So you said that you listen mostly to Black gay podcasts. So that's the perfect pivot. That's the perfect pivot because I also want to address, we all talk a lot on Twitter about current affairs, shit that's going on. And I find that one of the larger topics, not so much with my own friends who identify as LGBTQIA, but just with like the larger Black Twitter portion of social media, that a lot of people feel like, yo, Black Lives Matter doesn't really apply to me. You know, they're anti-us. They don't represent us. So like, fuck them. I'm not pulling up to no fucking protest for them because that shit don't apply to us. How you feel about that?
This is how I look at that. I think that's, and I've tweeted this before. I think people, I don't know what's going on in the home. I don't know how people been raised, but I don't be understanding people sometimes because like they say the same thing with, when the Black men get shot, oh, they don't, and I'm like, when you show up to it's Black Lives Matter.
Correct.
All Black lives.
Correct.
When you go to show up, you showing up for your fucking self. You're not showing up for them because they'll shoot you too. The problem is you get these certain folks who want to turn it into that. Oh, they killing black men. You know, that old bullshit. Yeah. But you got to reject that because that's not that. No, they not just killing black men. They killing everybody. Sandra, say her name? Sandra Bland.
Breonna Taylor. Yeah.
All of these, and even
was she? I don't know if she was white or Latina. The girl that was, I think she was raped and then murdered in the military.
Right.
Her name. Yeah.
And even like the one Diamond, she didn't get shot, but it was trauma for her. She was there in the car. She filmed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like when you out there, this is what I be like with the low readers, like. Why are you saying? They be like, oh, we marching for them, even though they don't care. You're not marching for them. You marching for yourself. Why you making it about them? Why you centering them? Because everybody want to be a fucking victim. You know what I mean? Everybody want, oh, they don't appreciate me. Appreciate your fucking self.
That's a fucking word.
I'm going to tell you, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. And straight black women, hear me. Listen, y'all are the shit. But y'all need to start worrying, and I say y'all because I said straight black women. Yeah. Y'all need to start worrying about your fucking self, okay?
That's a mood.
These men they're out there, you know what I mean? Like this men that they follow, maybe they don't know everything, but they following, they not the worst, they trying to learn. All right, they coming along, you ask, they learn the language, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Bring them. But y'all clinging to these motherfuckers and dragging these motherfuckers along that don't want to come. They don't want to change. They don't want to be free. They just want to run a plantation. And because y'all want to be loved and y'all want to be affirmed by these exact same niggas. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to leave y'all behind too. Yeah. We're going to leave y'all behind too. We're leaving them behind for sure. And if you want to cling to them, you can get left behind too. And that's real talk. And I'm just saying like that's.
That's real as fuck. Listen, I am a cis hetero black woman. I agree 1000%. It's literally the reason why I started Black Girl SOS, because the SOS is saving ourselves. Yeah. Period. The first episode, that's the first thing I said. It's a lot of shit we need to unlearn. It's a lot of shit that never served us. It's a lot of shit that damn sure don't serve us anymore that we holding on to, and that shit ain't helping us
at all. And y'all are out educated, y'all out earning, y'all out everything. So I mean, the ones that want to come, but like, so my get around to the answer to that. You're not marching for them. It's Black Lives Matter, Black Gay Lives Matter. Everybody matter. So when I'm out there marching, if I don't be marching, I'm not a marcher. I'll write you a check. But I'm just saying, I'm not out there marching for this.
That's a lot of light skin energy, Kelly. That's a lot of light skin energy.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Some of us are. I'm not the marcher.
Listen, everybody got a part to play. Learn figure out your lane and do your thing there. I'm a marcher. I was more of a marcher when I was younger. I have too much to lose now to be out there. I'm easily triggered. I'll fuck some shit up. So I kind of only go out now, like, when I'm on my rotation, I don't know if they doing this shit in New York. I just assume everyone does it everywhere. Yeah. But a bunch of lawyers, we caucus, we kind of just show up, make sure that people's rights aren't being violated. Motherfuckers is getting locked up, we getting all the information, whatever. I do my lawyerly duties, as the kid that made it out the hood. I do my fucking part. But other than that, I don't march as much as I used to, but I'm a marcher.
March is a young person's game, though.
It is.
You gotta have good knees and good back and all that. It is.
And honestly, to your point, though, is we need money to move this shit along. So those of us that have money now, that's our lane. That's our lane is to put money behind these fucking smaller elections. Put money in the fucking educating the motherfuckers that's trying to move the shit forward. And you're right though. We're the money people now. This is who we become.
and real talk. That's what's most important. That's another reason why these motherfuckers talking about this anti-capitalist. And I'm like, look, all that sound good.
I'm big on cash.
The other side has all the millions, and that's why you're getting your face bashed in. Y'all doing this one part. Now y'all making a fuss. Cool. And that's the thing, like, I feel like people miss that a lot. People like talking about Martin Luther King and Malcolm and all of them, but the part they missed about that is Martin Luther King was very smart.
Yes, he did not read with his fingers.
Right. He was very smart. He understood what nonviolence and the marching and all of that shit, that was a tactic. That wasn't the goal. I think some people think that was the goal.
Yes, that's a word, Kellz.
That was the tactic. He knew that the cameras, seeing them getting hit in the head with the batons and the fire hoses and all that shit, would stir people to action. And that's why I love that scene in what's the movie that came out recently? John Legend joint. Selma, the Ava DuVernay.
Selma, 21 Bridges. I don't know, it's like a bunch of black movies just came out.
The Ava DuVernay joint with like Oprah was in it.
Oh, I see it.
The John Selma.
So what's Selma? Yeah, I see it.
There's a scene in that. Love this scene where it's Snick with John Lewis and Stokely, who at the time Stokely, you know, they was kind of beefing back and forth because Snick was with cats, and you know, John Lewis was like, cool, he gonna come in, he gonna help us. But Stokely was like, fuck that nigga, old peaceful nigga shit, right?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't. Stokely was not a fan.
Right. So there's a scene where Martin comes in and Stokely ain't feeling him. And, you know, Martin was like, look, in, where is it? Selma, wherever the fuck else Birmingham. Yeah. He was like, Bull Connor, was a rabid racist, and we knew he would, beat us up, blah, blah, blah. And somewhere else they went, he was like the other sheriff, he was calm. He didn't do none of that. He treated us with respect and dignity and gave us our phone calls and all that, and that didn't make the news. He was like, so what I need y'all to tell me, because dude was like, why you here? We already on the ground, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, you on the ground, that's cool, but you ain't on TV, and nobody don't know about it down here. He was like, so what I need you to tell me is if the sheriff in this town is like that dude over there, or is he like Bull Connor? And that's a great scene because it shows that it's a tactic, yo. Martin Luther King was doing all he knew that he didn't know they was gonna get ran over on the bridge, right? But he knew that when people saw that, they was gonna make people come, and it was gonna cause problems because back then, even Lyndon Johnson, people still cared about their image, right? Yeah. And Lyndon Johnson was like, oh shit, I can't have these fucking niggers getting ran over down in Alabama. This shit look bad, right? I can't. They peaceful, you know. He
was smart. I feel like he was. First of all, I know he was very smart in the fact that he had a tactic and an approach to use the media, and the media wasn't even as big then as it is now, and he still figured out a way to manipulate that shit.
Right. He knew it was
to move the agenda.
He knew it was image, but I feel like now some people feel like that's all it is. They think all they gotta do is put on their leather jackets and their afros and throw their.
No, that's not a thought, Kelly. That is what. A lot of people. I see mad videos of people fucking, and first of all, I see mad videos of these quote unquote fucking allies, and that's a whole nother shit that'll send me down a fucking rabbit hole of disgust. But of these allies showing up to protest, they here with it, and then they getting back on their fucking city bike and riding off. Everything is for the gram. Right. And I'm like, first of all, exactly. And I'm like, yo, first of all, Sarah, Karen, fucking Karina, we didn't know, like, if you're not fucking like, yo, if you're not here to do the fucking work, get the fuck out the way. Get out the way. I don't have any patience or tolerance for this, doing it for the gram shit. Use the media, use social media, use all that shit. Like, that's how we getting this shit moving. But don't just do it for that. Like, there's got to be some substantive action after that. So when I'm talking to people, and like even on my Instagram, like I talk about local elections a lot, and I talk about people mobilizing and getting registered to vote, learning how to pool their money, create your own fucking super PAC. All you need is a bunch of motherfuckers with good jobs to come together and fucking get on the same fucking page, and like we can really get some shit done. But it be when it's time to do the actual work of the work. Motherfuckers don't want to do it.
That's not
safe. Everybody can't do everything. Everybody can't be on the forefront. Everybody's not Martin. It's a lot of motherfuckers that move the Martin. Martin didn't move that shit by himself.
That's what they want. They want the NBC. They want to get on TV. They want to be this. They want to be that. That's why I told people when that Jussie Smollett thing happened, everybody was like, why he do that? I'm like, because he trying to be one. He want to be the actor that got attacked. So that every time they have a panel, every time somebody got to talk about, here comes Jussie Smollett that got attacked. I was like, y'all niggas got to see the fucking jig, man. These niggas be all about the camera. I call it brand activism. And some people I like do it. Like Jamie,
I call it performative activism. Same shit.
Yup, it's like a brand. It's like, and so who said this stuff? I was reading an article the other day, Beth Ann Hardison. It was about fashion, and she articulated what I had.
I love her.
she articulated though what I have been trying to say forever about these celebrities. She was like, somebody asked her, "Oh, how do you like being an activist for Black models?" She was like, "I'm not an activist. I'm an advocate. I advocate for but I'm not." And I was like, "Yes, that's what it is. All these people, y'all not activists. Y'all are advocating for things, which is great. Advocating for, I don't know, Black lives, whatever. But you're not an activist. And like you said, everybody is not meant to be in the front. Everybody not photogenic. Let's keep it real. Everybody can't be that public speak. Like some of these people on Twitter, like I'll be like, bruh, sis.
Yo, it'd be threads of bullshit. I'd be like, so you sat still and typed this shit on your phone on purpose?
You don't have the range to be on TV because you're not on TV.
They don't have the fucking bandwidth, yo.
Exactly. You're going to say something stupid or you're going to say, oh, we going to burn all this motherfucking shit down, blah, blah. I'm so real, blah, 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 on the screen. Like, that's not it. That's not how
That's not it. You motherfuckers are going to go full T.I. Like,
right, and you don't have the range. You have to be polished. You have to know that's for the TV. Okay, but not everybody needs to be on the TV.
No, everybody does not.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm a hopeful person. I don't like to be gloom and doom, but I really worry because I'm like, I wouldn't follow none of these niggas nowhere. Like,
nowhere to the store. To the store. I wouldn't go to the store with you.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not, that's why they're like, Gen X is apathetic. I'm like, I don't think we apathetic.
Not at all. I think first of all, I think a lot of us really lived through a lot of shit where we don't have the patience for the dumb shit. Like we grew up in the Northeast during the fucking crack epidemic. We done lived through some shit. We ain't got time. Yo.
AIDS epidemic.
Everything.
Economics.
Every
fucking thing.
We survived a lot of shit. Patience levels are low. Patience levels.
Mesothelioma, lead paint, quicksand, the Bermuda Triangle, motherfucking on the milk boxes, all the serial killers, everything.
Mesothelioma.
Millennials we talk about, we went through everything. I mean, like, what the fuck y'all go through?
Motherfuckers went through Tide Pods, you fucking weirdos.
But shit, we came off. First of all, we was born after Nixon and them, so shit was already fucked up. Then here come Reaganomics and drugs and all that shit. We got like 8 years of reprieve with Bill Clinton, and then the fucking tower. And like, yo, we went through every fucking the loan crisis. How many recessions was in our lifetime? These niggas went about 2 recessions. The whole fucking formative years was a fucking recession. What the fuck is you talking about?
First of all, we're not out of the recession.
Right. Like, nigga, all the 80s was a goddamn recession if you was black.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. What you talking about? We had 8 that's why black people love Bill Clinton. You never gonna get us to not love Bill Clinton because them was the 8 best years of our black ass lives.
That's heavy on the facts, and I'm not gonna open the can of worms. I might have to have you back on because I know a trigger is Hillary. The way so I'm not gonna do it today. I'm gonna have you back because I already know you will hop in their ass right now about the fucking emails.
Big motherfuckers. Oh.
Yo, so on a recent episode of your podcast, you said, and it's a paraphrase because I didn't go re-pull it up. I listened to it when I first heard it. But you said we got to stop giving dumb the floor.
Yeah.
And that there's too much information out there for most people.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we're part of that problem, though? Because it's so easy to get a podcast, it's so easy for people to have the floor, and we're part of that shit.
No, but yes. But here's the thing. You listen to my podcast, you listen to my podcast, you listen to me talk. I know some things, and if I have an expertise in something, I say that. I'll be like, I know this because blah, blah, blah. But generally, I'm just talking. So the difference, I feel like, and I don't know what's happening in the schools. I don't know if it's No Child Left Behind or whatever, but that's true because, like, somebody said on Twitter, said something about, millennials, all they know is Google has the answer. And I was like, nah, the problem is Google don't have the answer. Google has information. Mm-hmm. That's different than the answer, right? Mm-hmm. If you do a math problem, all the information, X, whatever the formula, that's the information, but that's not the answer. You have to know how to apply that, solve on both sides, or what formula, or whatever you doing, your what is it called, FOIL, whatever you doing, you have to know how to apply all that to get the answer, right? And now, like, I'm gonna tell you, it's too much information. Like, nigga, you're not smart enough. Like, people who are, all right, here I go, dumb fuckers, right? Used to be a time when dumb people knew they was dumb, right? I'm not the smartest nigga in the world, right? I'm reasonably intelligent, but I'm not the smartest nigga in the world. And I'm smart enough to know when I'm out of my element, right? And I feel like nowadays people don't know when they out their element. The dumb nigga, you've been dumb all your life. You ain't only got 70s on every test. You ain't never been in the smartest classes. You barely made it into college. You know you got to see average. You know you barely graduated high school. You've been not smart all your life. Now all of a sudden, because Google got a machine that you just know every fucking thing, and you spotted every fucking jig, and it's a conspiracy. Nigga, shut the fuck, you don't know what you're talking about. You can't even find the main point of the paragraph, but you know more than Obama and Joe Biden. You gonna tell Joe Biden how to run his campaign, and you gonna tell him, like, shut the fuck. That shit annoys me. Like, dog. Everything from yesterday is nothing wrong with it, right? Nobody don't like tracking and all of that in schools, but they did that for a reason, because, homie, everybody got a gift. Yours ain't academic. You can put a tire on that truck faster than any fucking body. But we're going to take you down to the shop, and we're going to train you in car maintenance, because that's what you can do.
That's your strong suit. We found your talent.
Name on it. And what's wrong with that? Like, why everybody want to be goddamn super smarty arty nigga, and you're not? I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, like, I'm with you. I'm definitely not the smartest motherfucker on earth. I am absolutely reasonably intelligent and smarter than a lot of motherfucking people. Unapologetically. I will let your ass know that I'm smart than a motherfucker. Ain't the smartest motherfucker, but that's also part of being intelligent. That there's a lane that isn't yours. You know when to bow out the conversation, like, you know what? This is something I really want to talk about. I know that my homegirl does this for a living. Let me get her on here because she's got more insight than me. I ain't got to be the fucking me on every topic. And I got to be smart enough to tag somebody else in.
And it's okay to not know something, or it's okay to say, this is my opinion.
The motherfuckers ain't humble enough for that, though. Because a lot of this shit be the ego. A lot of this shit, because the intelligence level is false, it's not genuine, it's not rooted in some shit that they could actually stand on. It's the ego. So motherfuckers gotta present like they that fucking smart, that they too fucking dumb to ask for help. I don't gotta prove to you I'm that smart. I know I'm that fucking smart. And if someone is smarter than me on some other shit, I'm tagging you in. You're next. Who's next? Go. Get the fuck in.
I got an ego, and my ego don't like to look dumb. So my ego stops me from sitting up. I be seeing some of these people on these panels, and I be like, why would you join that panel? You don't know nothing about my ego. Stop. So I'm wondering, is it ego? Like, or is
it is. Everybody ego ain't set up the same way though. It's definitely ego. Okay. It's ego. Some people's egos is just real fucking prideful and showy. Like, it's like they gotta be the center of fucking attention. They gotta look like this. They gotta look like that. Some people's ego is like, I don't like to be embarrassed.
That's right.
And that's me. I don't like to be embarrassed.
I don't want to be stupid. I just feel like that little cohort behind us, because I saw it happening. I saw the switch right when I was about getting to graduate high school, like 12th grade. You start to see the switch, because when we was in school, they would flunk you if you ain't passed. You have to be 18 years old in 9th grade because you ain't.
Let me tell you something. I definitely had a motherfucker that was 20 in my motherfucking high school, and I was like, bro, you should be in the working force.
You need a job. They would flunk you until you turn 6. If you turn 16, you could then drop out if you wanted to. But if you didn't, they would flunk you. And then they started this social promotion.
Fucking promotion.
They would promote you so you wouldn't feel bad about being left behind. And I'm like, but you should feel bad about being fucking stupid.
You should
pass the goddamn class. That's what you should feel bad. I just feel
it's essentially the same thing as a fucking participation certificate.
Everybody gets a trophy.
I don't want that. I'm in the gym busting my ass, working hard for the win. So when I win, the motherfucker that lost they have to take that L and get the fuck on.
Take the L, and you have to go work harder. And
that's it.
Work harder.
And
if you beat me because you work harder, then I'll eat
that. So be it. Then I got to take the L.
Then I'll eat that. And that's where I think we went wrong. I think everybody gets a trophy. All your feelings matter. Excuse me. Everything you say is valid. Everybody got fucking feelings. Everybody has fucking feelings. I'm a Cancer. I got fucking feelings. They're not all valid. And even if they are valid, it don't always matter all the time. Like, you hurt my motherfucking feelings. My feelings is real fucking hurt. But you know what? It don't really matter that you hurt my feelings in this moment, because this is what we trying to do. I'll work with my hurt feelings later, or I'll just suck it the fuck up. And next time my feelings won't be hurt. And this is people like, oh, you sound like, I'm like, listen, man, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't think the product under us is better than we were.
I listen. Like I said, I taught before I became a lawyer, and I'm telling you, it's not better. The shit is bad. It's bad out there. It's fucking bad. And the bad shit is reinforced in the home, man.
Coming up to the school to argue with the teachers, like I would never.
Yo, so when I used to teach, I taught fresh out of undergrad. So first of all, I'm too young for you to really be playing these games with me. I'm going to slap the shit out you, right? I just got into adulthood. This is my first salary.
You're as fuck, sis. You got to leave me alone.
Like, I'm not even really an adult. I'm just a nigga that's of age with a job at this point. And I'm like, listen, if your fucking mother coming here talking to me crazy, I'm slapping this bitch. I'm slapping you. I don't give a fuck. I had like, my students, I always thought was going to be my problem. And it ended up not being them. It really ended up being their fucking parents. The parents were outside of their fucking mind. And I'm like, yo, sis, I'm not going to hold you. And I used to teach in the Bronx. I taught about 25 minutes from where I grew up. I was like, yo, I won't have my cousins run up in this motherfucking building. Y'all got to stop playing with me. I'm on some other shit. Now get that syllabus and get the fuck out of my face.
It's like they don't hold their children to
accountable at all
standards. Oh, the work is
because they don't hold themselves to any. Yeah. They don't think that they have they don't think they're an active member of their child's education. And that's obviously not every parent, but the fucked up ones.
On the teacher. Everything's on the teacher. I was watching this special on HBO about a failing school in Baltimore, and this woman kept coming to the school because her kid was in trouble. And she was like, I don't understand. Every time I come here, y'all say he's doing his work. Every time I ask him, he say he's doing his work. But when I come here, y'all say he's not doing his work. I'm like, sis, what you don't understand? Are you checking his work? Are you making sure he's doing it? Why has the school got to tell you he not doing his work? And I just was like, shit like that. And then are you shaming people? I'm like, listen, you might be right.
I don't give a fuck. I will shame you because you know what? I grew up in a single parent household. My motherfucking mother worked, my mom's a construction worker, so she out the door fucking 4:35 in the morning. Promise you, if that homework wasn't laid out on that fucking table when she woke up and she didn't see that fucking homework done, that was my ass. That was my ass. So it is your responsibility to be on top of that shit. It's not shaming you, but it's your fucking job. Right. You the parent.
I grew up with expectations. Certain things were just not to be tolerated. Certain things were not just expected of me. I didn't. I better bring home an A. I didn't get nothing from me other than I got to do what I wanted to do, and nobody. I was a good kid, so nobody wasn't none of that shit. But I didn't get no special. We didn't get no parties. Like certain shit was just expected. My daddy and my moms and my cousins and all of them. I had a lot of leeway with a lot of shit. But school was not one of them.
Not one of them.
All this shit will go away if you ain't bringing these grades in the house. And that was from little. That was from preschool. That was never anything. I don't give a fuck what else happened. I could be in jail. I better be getting A's. Like, what I'm saying?
That's a fact though. That's a fact. That's how my mom run her household. That's what I know. And it's the lack of expectation, the lack of accountability. And it's like, yo, if you feel like you don't have no accountability as the parent, your kid sees that. They mirror that same fucking behavior. They also don't learn accountability.
They don't learn accountability. They don't learn to push through. Everything is a fucking excuse.
And then it translates to this fucking clusterfuck we in right now.
Everything is excuse. Everything is my rights. And, well, that makes me feel uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable that you can't read that fucking paragraph. That's what you should feel. You should feel uncomfortable that you can't read the paragraph, and you should be embarrassed that you can't. You should go home and you should learn, and you should come back here and show us all Fuck y'all bitches. Y'all ain't making fun of me no more because I read the fucking paragraph. They don't do that. It's all I got.
That's the way our ego is set up. That's the I don't like to be embarrassed part of our ego. Cause I'm coming to school prepared every day just in case you call on me. Cause I'm gonna fucking read with excellence swiftly and to the fucking point. Like I'm not gonna be embarrassed.
Right. I'm not gonna stumble on my words.
Right.
I'm having my pay. I just don't. It's a new, but you know what? Gen X, though, they better. And that's our kids. Well, other niggas' kids.
The other niggas' kids ain't ours, but you know what I'm saying.
They better. And I'm like, no, that's because they was raised by us. These millennials, no offense.
A lot of them, I mean, they did the best they could do with what they got.
I guess. But, I mean, I told my cousin the other day, I said I knew shit wasn't right when we started seeing them out riding their bikes with helmets and elbow pads and knee pads on in their own fucking driveway. Like, who wears pants to ride a bike?
Where are you gonna fall? Right in the fucking driveway? It's okay.
That's gonna crush your skull. I'm like, we used to be on bikes all over Philadelphia. As long as you were back on your block by the time the light was on.
It came on.
Everywhere. We was all over the fucking city on bikes, my nigga, on bikes.
We used to be riding the fucking Grant's Tomb. So I'm from like the middle of the Bronx. We used to be riding all the way to fucking Harlem.
Yeah.
Just out in these fucking streets. Just me and my fucking BMX on my mountain bike. I got a book bag with some fucking tools in it in case I get a flat. I got a tropical fantasy. I got a tropical fantasy in the fucking book bag.
And like $2. And they all went. And they
like collectively we got enough money to buy one Chinese restaurant.
Right. And we all split it. Ain't nobody get kidnapped. Ain't nobody get snatched. Ain't nobody get on crack. Ain't nobody get pregnant. Like now these motherfucking kids can't even go to the goddamn store. The kids with the cell phones. Our kids need cell phones. I'm like, do they really need a cell phone? I mean, I guess now in 2020 with all the shit going on, sure. But, nigga, we lived our whole lives and we was out here. And a cell phone. If I would have got snatched, it'd have been hours before they knew I was fucking missing. I'd have had to get free on my wits, nigga. You know what I mean?
Half the time, motherfuckers ain't even have no change for the payphone. Just out here. Just out here.
Get home the best way you can. Like, oh, fuck, I'm be in trouble because I got to walk. And I hate to sound like the old nigga, but I'm just like, yo, I worry because I'm like, people not like they used to be. And like you said, this is how we in the situation we're in now. I'm like, why are y'all so weak? Even with the pandemic, I know this shit sucks, but we really just mildly inconvenient. It's people out here dead. It's people out here out of their jobs. It's people out here. I mean, we just can't go. Okay, nigga, you can't go to brunch. You got to be in your house. You know, you can't hug your mom like these. Oh my God, I'm gonna break down. Like, are you for real?
Yo, listen. You first of all, you know I live in a state of fucking stupidity, mass stupidity. Yo, the way these motherfuckers be out here wanting to protest about wearing a mask, bruh, you're mad at that? You got energy for that? Nah, it's way too much real shit going on.
That's for that sleep apnea mask every fucking night because your fucking ass is fat and can't breathe before you die in your sleep. So I don't know why the fuck you worried about it. That like it's so stupid.
It's dumb shit.
And we gotta act like it's not dumb shit. That's what irritates. We gotta talk. Let's talking. I don't want to talk. Put on your mask. Fuck out of here.
Listen. That's a hard copy for me.
Put on your mask. Like why is everything gotta be given a platform? Why does everything have to be equal weight? It's what you're saying is ridiculous.
Correct.
We're saying put a mask on to save your life and everybody else's life. You saying some dumb shit. It's ridiculous. Put the mask on to get the fuck out. And that's what I don't have the patience for. And it gets worse and worse. And that's how you get to a Trump. Because it gets worse and worse and worse. And you could just say dumber shit and dumber shit and dumber shit. And somebody gonna give it equal weight. And somebody gonna be like, oh, well, I see where she's coming from. I don't see where she's coming from at all. She sound crazy to me. And so do you.
So you bring up a good point. And we'll close out around here. Trump. Cheeto. I don't use that motherfucker's name. Cheeto. So we lost RBG, RIP to a real one. And a lot of people are using her as a rallying cry, like, yo, now that, cause I feel like it doesn't matter how many times those of us that are smart have said it, like y'all don't understand. This election is so big, like we were like the fucking bench. Like y'all worried about Trump. I'm worried about the fucking Supreme Court rolling back shit like Roe versus Wade. Like, motherfuckers is rolling back abortion in the states as we speak, and y'all ready to drop the ball. So people are using RBG now that she has passed away as like, yo, this is what the fuck we were trying to tell y'all. This is where the fuck we're at. Other people, like I saw just right today, this guy was on Kenya Barris's page, basically saying, yo, RBG wasn't for black people, you know, so that ain't no fucking reason to vote. She's only ever hired one black clerk. She never really gave black people employment opportunities, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm interested. What's your opinion? What's your opinion on that hot take?
Honestly, the whole RBG thing, this whole thing, I really ain't got nothing to say. I'm like, I've been said in 2016, that's when y'all fucked up.
Yeah.
Shit the bed in 2016. And this is what, like, I mean, I'm not saying she was 87 with all kind of cancer. I knew she wasn't gonna make it. I mean, I don't mean to say it like that, but like, as soon as she had the, you know, kept going in and out of hospital, 87 years old. Like, I knew she was gonna make it. I think people that are saying, again, people need to see the forest for the trees. Okay,
yeah, man.
All that's true about the law clerks, but none of them really have any black law clerks. But like, people need to, and because I'm military, I always use a military analogies in this. You know, people got to understand that, you know, everything is a process. You people need to see the forest for the trees, because you talking about in her past she never had, you know, hired black clerks, and all of that is true. But if we don't get this right, you think it's going to be black law clerks going forward? Like, that makes sense to you? Well, oh, we just not going, she wasn't for black people, so we not going to vote, and Trump going to go. Like, I don't understand y'all. Y'all sound silly to me. You sound like nobody who's ever been in a fight in your life, like nobody who's ever been punched in the face, like people who just think it can't get any worse. Like people like just 50 fucking years ago, people wasn't getting hung from trees. Like they can't put a Supreme Court justice in there that'll rule, oh, you know what, y'all back to slaves, you know, and not saying it would be implemented, but shit, now we got to fight that we not slaves again, you know, like, I need people to see those arguments. I can't stand them. They are dumb to me. Yes, all that is true. But what you do is right now, the United States, we are on the operating table. We on life support. Our shit is beeping, 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 beeping. These motherfuckers, while we on life support, beeping, they standing around talking about, oh, well, you know, how we going to get a haircut next week? They never had a haircut. Oh, look at this shoe. Bitch, you got to stop the bleeding, and you have to stabilize the patient. You have to make sure the patient is going to live. Then once the patient lives, then you get them rehab. Then you worry. Y'all worrying about down the road.
They don't know how to, a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to triage these shit. Like, we got to prioritize what needs to be handled first. Then we can get to the bullshit.
Right. And if y'all would have just voted for Hillary Clinton, the easiest fucking thing in the world, if y'all would have just voted for Hillary Clinton, we wouldn't even be here now. And y'all still stuck on this stupid ass shit. And you know what else kills me? Like, these people are not, a politician is not a fucking magician. It's just, you vote on somebody who was more likely to not be at this point, who was more likely not to be the fucking worst, right? Normally, it's, okay, who do I vote for that'll if they push my ideas? That's it. It's up to you to go to your school boards. It's up to you to, I don't know, pressure Ruth Bader Ginsburg people don't want to do anything. They want to sit back and vote on the president 4 years and do nothing fucking else. And if then every fucking magical thing don't come through, like, I'm not gonna vote, or you tear the system down. Ain't none of y'all tearing down shit.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
In a fucking fist fight, you ain't no revolutionary. I'm a fucking Marine. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would kill all of y'all on the first day. Okay, you're not built for it. You scared of guns. You can't even handle not being able to go to brunch for 7 months, but you're gonna fight a fucking revolution. Get the fuck out of here. So I'm tired. Like, y'all, I'm tired of that. Cut all that shit out. If you either part of the solution or you part of the problem. We're in a bad spot. And yeah, there's a lot. I fully believe that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, I think it's going to be one of the biggest landslides in American history. Now, what all the shenanigans that come after that is going to come after that, and that's just where we at because y'all couldn't vote for Hillary Clinton. So, yeah, he's going to pull some shit. He's going to try some shit, but it's very important that the victory be big because what happened in 2016, I've been saying, I think they rigged the election. I think
they absolutely rigged that shit. That shit was
sometime in the future. It's going to be said that they flip votes. I think they flip votes in Michigan. I think they flip votes in Wisconsin. Absolutely. She lost by 77,000 electoral votes. We know she won the popular vote by however many. The issue, though, is when you got set, what they did in 2016, and I know this because if you listen to my podcast, I've said it, but I say here, before law school, I was in the Marine Corps, and then I worked for the CIA and DIA. I was an intel analyst, and I worked Officer Russia, the Russia desk, command and control, Putin, the KGB, and all that shit for 7 years. So I know these motherfuckers. And I told everybody in 2016, actually, I told people when Edward Snowden did what he did, I said, the Russians going to start fucking with us. But I didn't think about it. Like, I thought they was going to start turning off our power grids, turning off our dams, shooting this shit like that. I didn't think about election, right?
Yeah.
But I knew this was coming. And I recognized this is all the propaganda and the Hillary, I seen all of this shit. I knew what it was.
Yeah.
So, the issue is, what happened with Hillary was we all saw what was happening, but it was such a small margin. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna, you can't really. We know something happened. We don't really know what, and it was like, oh, why did it? Because like that level of investigation is what they did was too slick. So, 5,000 votes here. Throw out 1,000 votes here, throw out 4,000 votes here.
Like they didn't do they didn't do anything so egregious in one place that it drew attention.
Right.
But it was small and effective enough to collectively have an effect.
And not enough for somebody like, oh, we're going to investigate. It's like, I don't know. That's why. But this one, if it's so big, then when they trying to do, it'll be obvious, right?
Yeah.
If, you start flipping, oh, well, we won Pennsylvania, we won New York, and like,
like, did you?
Yeah, then people gonna be like, because I'm gonna tell y'all what he's gonna do. I already know what he's gonna do because this is what they do in Russia and all these countries like that. I think Joe Biden and Kamala are gonna rout. I think that I don't know about some of these swing states, but I think they're gonna rout, right? And we already know he's gonna challenge people. Like, what if he doesn't leave office? He has no choice.
He doesn't have an option.
I'm like,
you don't get to stay.
Shoot it out. The
Secret Service doesn't work for him. They work for the United States.
The president doesn't leave office. The office leaves the president. If he loses, he no longer has authority. People are like, well, y'all, he's doing things now because he has the authority. He may be abusing the authority. But he is the president. He has the authority. So if he says send the federal troops, they send them because you have to have some reason to not send them, and it's within his authority. It's dumb as fuck, but he can do it, right? That's different when election night has come. He's lost. Yeah, you in the transition, but we know that Joe Biden is going to be the next guy that has the authority. Now that's different. Now people don't have to listen. I'm in the military. When you have a commander in chief or a base commander or whatever that you don't want to really listen to, it's ways to not listen because we know that motherfucker, he's gonna come for a year or two and then he's gonna leave. So, we want to paint the whole base green. All right, sir. And you don't do shit. Hey, you know what? We ain't have enough green paint. We have the requisition. It's gonna take a couple months. Okay, you come back around in 6 months. What's the paint? Oh, sir, they sent the wrong paint. It's the wrong color green. We got it. And before you know it, the motherfucker's gone. And the next person come in because it wasn't a white paint. We ain't painting fucking base green. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's ways to do it, and that's what they'll do. We already know the military ain't going. The military ain't going to defend them. It's different. It's a lot of people in our government right now that's cowardly. It's a lot of people in our government right now that don't have courage. We see that, right? And they or they're sticking their finger up, seeing which way the wind's gonna blow.
Yep.
But those kind of people, stakes change when this motherfucker done. Oh shit, he done got blowed the fuck out. And Joe Biden, who is a veteran,
been
in.
That's the other shit. I feel like people really don't have a grasp on politicians as a job, as a career.
They don't.
Like these motherfuckers been doing this job for a long time. they know how to make the fucking wheels turn the way they want them to turn. We need to be fucking getting somebody on our fucking side. We know for sure Cheeto ain't on our side, so he gotta go, and that needs to be the only fucking approach. But motherfuckers want to question, like, and I'm somebody who I have a huge issue with legacy politicians. I do. I talk about it all the fucking time. That's not gonna change for me. That's because I come from where I live at. It's been the same fucking family in office forever. I'm like, you motherfuckers don't see any change because you keep going for the same fucking name. Move that motherfucker out. But if we got someone who's a veteran at their job, a veteran at their fucking job that knows what they're doing, and they're gonna move our agenda forward, we need to be on that train. And that's the fucking train we got to
politics. That's why I'm gonna be real. I wasn't for Obama in 2008. I was for Hillary, and I was for Hillary for the reasons that we are.
Do I look surprised?
No,
my mother was too, though. Me and my mom were adversarial in that. She voted for Hillary in the primaries, and I voted for Obama. My mom, like I said, she's a construction worker. She's heavy on the feminism shit. Heavy on it.
It wasn't even the feminists. It's just that because I worked in the intel community, I know how government works. I know how politics work. And I think that a lot of what we're seeing right now is because Obama did not have enough experience. I liked him fine, but I'm like, this is politics.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough experience. Nobody is going to fear him. He's not been around. He doesn't know where bodies are buried. Nobody.
Yeah, he didn't have enough like currency in DC.
Right. And we saw what happened. It stifled him for 4 years, and then almost whereas Hillary Clinton, she know it.
She know where the bodies are. She knows where the bodies are.
She know who's to go. Hey, kind of what Nancy does. Hey, I need this bill passed. I'm gonna go to Claire because 4 years ago when Claire wanted me to run that bullshit ass street light, I voted on it. She owed me a vote. You need that. That's how you get things done. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was for Hillary. I said no. I think Obama should be under her to see that and get his name out there and gain that currency. And I think a lot of mistakes he made. Kind of, not all of it, but I'm gonna be real with you. I really think Obama and them, I think they should have warned us about Russian interference because they knew it and they should have told us. And if people didn't want to listen or people didn't want to believe it, that's fine. But you have to give people the information to sit back, to know all the shit that we finding out that they know now, and to say nothing. People talk about McConnell with nigga. The president of the United States does not need anybody's permission to address the American people. You can get a camera to the Oval Office. Congress has they can tell you can't come to the congressional chamber. Yeah. But the president has always, Ronald Reagan did it all the time. FDR did it all the time. You sit at your fucking desk in the Oval Office and you talk straight to the people. You're the commander in chief. You can give Trump the dumb shit.
That's a valid point.
You didn't need McConnell. And then people are like, oh, well, he didn't want, I don't understand that logic. We didn't want to tell you about people trying to affect the election because we didn't want to affect the election. So what's the worst that could have happened? Nobody would have believed you and Trump would have got elected. I just feel like they needed to, that's information. And again, that's experience. You should have told, you didn't have to say in detail, but you could have been like, listen, foreign forces, Putin, and whoever else who want our country in chaos, who are our enemies, have an interest in this race. They are trying very hard to affect your vote. They're telling they want you to vote for, you don't even have to say for Trump. They're trying to influence your vote and they're trying to sow chaos, just whatever. I'm sure they're smart people.
There's a way to get the message out without directly saying that this is what it is.
To stand by, I trust the American people. Why? Why do you trust them?
I don't. I lived in Middle America before. I know Americans are fucking very ghetto. Do not recommend scathing Yelp.
Oh, I know. I was in Texas for 3 months. I know. But
I lived in Kansas City. Very ghetto. Do not recommend.
Yeah, I was in the military, so a lot of people from the military from the Midwest. So I know exactly. I know people, and it's just a lot of stuff Obama did. Again, I never was a big fan. I didn't hate the guy, but I'm not an Obama worshiper. It's a lot of stuff he did that I don't.
Well, you got a different lens than most of us do because you come from the intelligence community and we don't. I'm one of them people that would have Obama in the Black Jesus frame. I'm one of those people. I love Obama for sure, Do I think it was a flawless presidency? I don't think that's a thing that exists. But I'm also someone who's politically astute. I understand once he lost having, once the Dems lost having fucking House in the Senate, a lot of shit was not going to happen. We don't have the fucking, I'm like, you motherfuckers, I get it. You motherfuckers didn't do that well in like 4th grade social studies class, so you don't know there's 3 branches of government. Like, you don't get all that shit. That's cool. Motherfuckers are mad, Barack didn't come to the fucking family barbecue.
Yeah, no.
Fix up their house. And I'm like, that's not how this shit works. It's not any of this works.
And those complaints about Obama are dumb to me. I get why he fuck with Cornell and Taft. I get it. I totally get it. He ain't fuck with none of y'all coon niggas, and we see why.
We see why.
Right. Those complaints about Obama, I don't have. My complaints are different. My complaints are like even with the Democrat, like, you didn't groom anybody. Like, you didn't. Why weren't all this young talent is out there, talent just like you were? Why when you got Kamala Harris out here, you got Cory Booker out here, you got all the all these young dude in Florida that fell out on the drugs, but at the time,
Andrew,
right? Like, I'm saying, like, they don't have the Republicans. If you look at them, these motherfuckers are scary because these dudes are young.
And they play the long game. They always do. We always trying to hold the moral high ground
and preserve the past. Like, dog.
Let that shit go. Let that shit go.
Let it go. We need warriors right now. We don't need Nancy. God bless her. I never try to take none away from Nancy, but like, people act like people. I need y'all to get some common sense. I need y'all to understand that people that are of that age, that are octogenarians, septuagenarians, they have lived their entire lives. They are more focused on preserving the past than moving forward. And honestly, you don't. Just because you say somebody is too old for a particular job, it doesn't mean you're saying take them out back. But Nancy is not a wartime consigliere, right? Yeah. We need somebody, that compromise and, McConnell's a hypocrite. We like, nigga, this is not the 1990s. That shit worked in the night. We need a fighter right now. We need a scrap. Yeah. You see how AOC gets in their ass? And you see how upset they get? And they won't leave that woman alone for nothing because she got
she a Bronx chick. She a Bronx chick through and through.
And they keep trying to come for her, and she like, you got the wrong one. You better take that shit down the hallway to Katie, because I don't play that shit. And that's what we need right now.
I agree.
And I think Nancy and Chuck and all of them, y'all are too old. I'm sorry, y'all boomers. Y'all done lived your whole life. Y'all, it's not the 60s no more. We got different.
We need turnaround. But this is the shit I be talking about with legacy politicians. Like, yo, you've been here forever. Thank you for your service. Have a great day.
Because part of a good leadership is to know when to step aside.
It's breeding the next set of leaders. It's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be a hard stop. It's not supposed to be once you're done, we didn't have anybody ready to fucking fill your shoes. It's supposed to be a transition where I didn't even fucking feel the shit.
And when you storm the beach at Normandy, if the general gets shot down, the lieutenant pick up the rifle.
Correct.
Who the fuck want to follow an 80-year-old in the war? You can't even run fast, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And people get mad with, that's ageism. It's not ageism.
Shit is what it is. It's a lot of shit I can't do anymore because I'm 40 and my fucking joints hurt and my bones don't absorb.
I don't play ball no more because I'm too fucking old because my whole ACL will blow out. I'm too old for ball. I'm not too old for life, but I need to get my old ass off the court. I ain't 18. I played the 25-year-old.
I'm not going to run the full. Maybe I'll shoot around by myself.
Right, by myself. You want to play? No, nigga, no. I just want to shoot shots over here. Get away from me. Thanks. No, I don't want to run. Sorry, y'all ain't got 5. I just want to shoot my little fucking fadeaways. Leave me alone. Exactly. And people don't understand that. Nobody's saying, but Nancy, if you a leader and you got all this currency, we get it. Do that shit from the back. Let somebody else, and you just fall back like Maxine does. You don't see Maxine always grabbing the mic. You don't see Maxine. No, but I bet you.
But she be getting that shit done.
Right. She gets shit done. That's what. And Chuck too. Like. Move, like, y'all baby boomers, move, nigga. The 60s is over. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris older than me. And I was like, goddamn, how old is Joe Biden that she was on the goddamn school bus going to grade school and your ass was in the Senate? That's how fucking old you are, nigga, because she's 50-something. I was like, wow.
I'll be real honest with you. When Joe didn't run in 2016, I was like, then it's kind of over for him. No, ain't he too old for this shit? And then, you know, Bernie was running, and motherfuckers was like, well, I mean, if Bernie can run, Joe can run. And I was just like, but ain't it a wrap right now, though?
The truth is, all of them are too old. But this is what I give Joe Biden. I think Joe Biden is running because they asked him to run.
That's what I said. I said the DNC pulled they hit the switch. They got on the line and said, listen, we need a veteran we need a brand we could trust. Get your ass.
And Joe did it. And that's
I agree. That's what I think too.
To his credit, that's leadership though. That's when
it is.
It is. Life and you need me. This is what the country needs. It's for the good of the country. I'm gonna do it. And that's why I don't have no problem with Joe, and I don't have no problem with his age. I don't think he's running for ego. I think he's running because he knows.
I think he's doing us a solid. He
is. He knows that guy's the fucking worst. He knows that guy's not good for the country, and he knows that. Look, that's why he picked Kamala, and he was like, yo, I'm only running because he like, look, I will hold this spot, and then y'all figure it out from there, but we got to get this nigga out of here. And that's why I don't have no problem with Joe. I don't have no problem voting for Joe. I feel like Joe is honest. I know people like, oh, he old. He an old white dude.
He's a politician. Like, what the fuck? Like, everything. Every sentence isn't fucking dripping with veracity. Like,
it gotta make you feel good. It gotta be just perfect for you, nigga. I can't stand these dudes. I can't. You listen. This week for my podcast, I'm about to light these niggas up because I'm tired.
See, make sure y'all tune in this week. Kelly about to.
I'm about to like this week been busy, man. They niggas done think piece antebellum to death. This shit have been out 2 goddamn days. They got all these think pieces on this, the RBG shit. They don't like Lovecraft. They tired of slave movies. They all this. I
thought everybody loved Lovecraft.
You should. This chick had a problem with Lovecraft. She wrote a think piece on antebellum and Lovecraft.
The fact that we got to get a think piece for everything, fucking it.
Nigga, bro. You just don't like something. Like I watch it all the time. I don't like it.
I turn it off.
Right, I turn it off, or I ain't get it, or I thought that was dumb. I don't gotta write a whole piece on it. And then this is my thing, like just because you ain't get it or it ain't make you feel exactly how you want to feel and make you feel validated, represented. They don't mean it's bad, and they don't mean it's a plot hole. Yeah. Everything ain't gotta be about you. And because I'm gonna be real, y'all, I'm gay as fuck. But Lovecraft, I was like, I don't know. I think the gay agenda is out of control now. I'm like, y'all doing too much. I'm making everybody feel gay. I'm like, how Montrose gonna be gay? That shit came out of left field for me. I was like, wait a minute. I missed the gay meeting because this is too much. We said we was going low profile, and now I look, and y'all everywhere. But then I was like, no. But I get it. People be gay. And that's what they're trying to show. They're trying to show people be gay. People always been gay. It's not a new thing. Everybody gay now. No. People always been gay. They just want free to show it. And that's so I get it. Like, people be gay. But for a minute, I was like, y'all doing a whole lot of this gay shit now. DC then came out. We got P-Valley. Now
P-Valley my shit though. I ain't even gonna fucking hold you. That's my shit.
Like
everybody Clifford a bad bitch, yo.
It is. I was like, everybody popping up gay, y'all. We might have to roll this agenda back. I think we're gonna run out of. We only need 2 tracks on this album. We're gonna run out of cuts. Like I was like, y'all doing too much. But then I was like, I get it.
Yo, you are fucking hilarious. Yo, Kelly, I appreciate you coming on. Good conversation as expected.
Yeah.
I'll add all your information so that the people can follow you.
Yes. Follow me at KMGZ on Twitter and at Genghis Kellz on Instagram. I got so many more Twitter followers on Instagram. That should be making me feel away. I'm like, I'm ugly. Like, why y'all not following me on Instagram? Shit.
Yo, you know what? I don't think I follow you on Instagram either, but it's just because, the comments, like, we're always on Twitter, though. Yeah. I feel like we live on Twitter.
I'm like, I want to be Instagram fat, too. Don't follow my shit.
I'm going to follow you as soon as we done. I'll follow you on Instagram so you can get your for bookings up.
Yes, I'm trying to get booked. I got like 200 followers.
Get your OnlyFans popping.
That's right.
Yo, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed. Play it back because she dropped a lot of good gems on us. She's got a wealth of information that, the slow readers don't have.
No readers.
Yo, I appreciate y'all tuning in yet again. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
Peace.